Hello and welcome back. We are now in May, and I have bought 50,000 litres of acetic acid down to the sell point to get sold. I think the peak price is next month rather than this month, but there is plenty more to be getting on with and to be getting sold when the time comes. So we're going to get this sold. I'm currently watching our bank balance absolutely fly up, which is fantastic. So it looks like we're getting quite a good price. I think it was just shy of £2,000 per 1,000 litres. So that is going to put us in a really good position. We are also going to be sorting out today. I have ploughed the sort of in-between bits between our two grass fields, the new grass fields. So I have leased a seeder so that we can get those bits grassed so that we don't have the bit in between. It's one big field now rather than being two separate ones. That'll make it a lot easier when it comes to mowing and collecting the grass, especially if we're running things on course play again. Obviously now that we have the two tractors. 95,576, so not a bad sale at all. I'm going to head back now. I'm going to take this back up to the top end of the farm. So up where our productions are. I'm going to head this back up there because that is ultimately where it's going to be needed. And then I'm going to pick up a trailer full of something from our silo to deliver it down to the new farm. So I will catch up with you when I am doing that. Okie dokie, so you may notice that the trailer is slightly higher sided than it was before. We have paid a little bit of money out to basically get the extension so that rather than taking 150,000 litres, the trailer now takes 200,000 litres. And that's going to be a bit more useful for carting back and forth, because things like there are 330,000 litres of TMR sat up at the top silo, which obviously we don't have cows up there, so that all needs to be down here in this. Ooh, no, I've driven up on it. So what we've done is we've fitted the underground silos. So open this, and if I open this gate as well, then that will make it easier driving through. So we just drive onto here, and this has an underground capacity. I think it might link in with the one that's already fitted here at the farm. I can't be 100% sure though. So that is all good. I'm not too worried about leaving the gates open. Well, I mean, the cows, this one's just walking straight through the tractor, so if it's walking through a tractor, it could quite easily walk through a gate, open or closed. And actually it's a bit more convenient for me to have it open, so I'm just going to leave that open for now. I'm going to head back up and carry on running. So I've got another run of TMR to do, and then I think there's a few other bits. There's still some soybeans up there that we harvested last year, and I'm actually struggling to remember whether they were left over, as in we harvested the field and that's what was left over from the farmer, or whether that was an actual harvest that we did for ourselves. I'm struggling to remember, so yeah, let's see how this is doing in terms of, so there's 200,000 litres of straw in there, so that is running well. Just got to skirt around the outside of this field now, so I will catch up with you on one of the return legs. I'm just on my way back now with some of the silage. So we had 250,000 litres in the silo up there already. This is the first 200,000 litres of that. We also have a bunker silo that is full of silage there, which is ready to be emptied. We've got all of the grass that came off our two fields just behind these trees in this bunker silo down here, so we are very well off for silage. There's 200,000 litres of silage in the acetic acid production, so I'm not going to put any more in there for now. We might look at moving the production. We might sell it off completely. I'm not 100% sure yet what the plan is for all of that. So I'm not going to add any more silage to it for now. I'll just run down what is in there. So yeah, we'll have to go and get this bunker silo up there emptied and all of that bought. Down here I will get some runs done to the biogas plant as well, so we are keeping that topped up with silage. I'm just going to head in here because we have had some new births from our sheep. We had a 50 strong herd that we moved across from the other pasture, and they have now doubled in size, so we have 100. They are seemingly doing well. The overall health in the pen is up to 85%, so that is good. They have got enough food and water to keep going. We obviously have our trailer here to keep them well stocked. Up with, that's just grass that they have in there, and we've got our loader here as well, keeping them stocked up. I've now got to reverse this out, so if the camera cuts, then I've probably not reversed it out very well. Hey, there we go. So, I'm going to keep on moving stuff from the main silo up there, and I will catch up with you when I'm finished with that, and we are drilling that extra bit on the pathway. Just bringing down the last little bit of silage from that bunker silo to our BGA. You will see on the right we have finally made use of this little patch of land other than just grassing it over. If I hop out and get a closer look, we have put some olive trees down. These are a little bit different. They're not harvested with the standard olive harvesters. They have not cost as much to put down either, which is very important in the overall scheme of trying to make money from olives. So they are currently in the, if I can get it lined up just right, in the first stage of growth. So they will be ready to harvest probably after the rest of our crops have harvested via a different attachment, which just makes them a little bit more profitable than standard olive vines. You might remember, if you've watched since my Haute Belleron series, we tried some olives and they just were not profitable. The amount of money it cost to put them in the ground, if they were already there, then they would have been, but the amount of money it costs to put in the ground, combined with the leasing costs of the harvester, we didn't actually make any money on them at all. So we're going to try this way. We're going to see if this gets us a bit more profit. We had that sort of little patch of land here that it was worthwhile doing something with anyway. I'm also stopping here because I have managed to make the case orange. I've now realised it doesn't quite line up with the Kubota orange, but the case is orange. It has happened. Well, here we are, just coming up to our productions area, and we've got a new production put in. This is the manure production, and it takes straw, and effectively I like to think of this production as being, we are renting our straw out to other farmers. So we give them the straw, they give us back manure. It's a rental system, if you like, but it's all handily managed from this production chain. Part of my reasoning for doing this is just because we have so much straw still left over from last year's harvest. We're just not getting through it. There's just too much of it to process into silage. We've got another harvest just around the corner. From next month, in fact, we're going to be able to start harvesting and potentially doing harvest contracts on other people's fields. So it just made sense to get something going where we get through the straw that we've got very quickly. We can turn it into a highly sellable product, because the manure is worth a lot more to us than the straw is at the biogas plant, for example. Okay, so we're going to get this grass area seeded now. Obviously I had to go with the Kubota seeder, because it's orange, it comes in orange. And this is apparently the orange Let's Play. I didn't set out to do an orange Let's Play, but, you know, sometimes you just end up with what you end up with. And it's also quite good because I'm not sure this is a direct drill then, because it doesn't seem to be affecting any of the grass around it, which is good, because that means we can lay down the edges. Now this is around, I can't remember whether I did 9 metres or 6 metres. Must have been 9 from the look of how this 3 metre seed is lining up against it. But I could have done it in 1, maybe 2 passes with leasing the right seeder, but again, this has a cost of 35,000 to purchase it, so it means the leasing cost is a lot less to lease it than something that would have done 9 metres, and for the sake of only doing 1 pass on it versus doing 3, maybe 4, just to allow for a little bit of overlap and make sure we get everything with this one, for the sake of having to do a few extra passes, it made more sense, because it's not going to be an hour's worth of work going on the machine. So I feel like it wasn't worth a couple of thousand extra in leasing costs. So I will just chug up and down with this. I will probably press the magic button to make it go a little bit faster. That's better. Don't tell anyone I've just driven through the hedges, okay? Nobody knows. There we go. Back to not driving through hedges. I'm going to slow up early this time, because that's a river that side, and I do not want to go into the river. Right, I'm going to get on with this, chug up and down a few more times, get this done. Okay, so that grass is all planted, and I very heavily overestimated the amount of seed we would need. So, I'm just going to come and empty this out just over here. That's the one. Right, so we will have some seed for when we come back after the harvest to get our fields planted again. Right, we're up at our top area. So this is our silo. There's a tiny little bit of chaff left in it. But I'm just going to sell that with the silo. Yep, there we go. A little bit of money coming from that. We're going to sell this off as well. There we go. We've got our trailer up here because obviously we're still producing the acetic acid from here. This bunker silo can also be sold. And we'll need to move our conveyor belt down because we have a bunker silo down at the new farm area. But that then means that other than this acetic acid plant, everything from up here has been moved on down. I will also have to come and collect these logs and drop them off at one of the wood productions. I'll work out which one. Right, that's nice and full, so off we go, and we will store this in the other silo until the price is right for selling. Well, it's the end of the day in May, and I am just coming up. We picked up a couple of last minute contracts, one of which was to deliver 102,000 litres of manure to the slurry yard. So I am more than happy to complete that one. Our manure manufacturing area has been filled twice throughout the course of today. So it's been a full-on job keeping that empty. Right, that is contract finished. So the remainder of this we're going to take round and put in the biogas plant. We also, a contract has come up for soybeans, only for 8,000 litres of them, but it's a better price than we will even get tomorrow. So we're going to make that happen before we head into tomorrow. And then probably very early on we will be selling the rest of the soybeans. Right. Let's do this. So here, there we go. That's the manure contract. £78,000. So that has paid out at about £800 or £900 per 1,000 litres, which I'm very happy with. And then, so this is soybeans, 8,000 litres for 19,000, which is a very good price. So I will do that, and then I will see you in the morning when we are selling off the soybeans for our full profit. We are just coming up to the non-awkward animal dealer to sell our soybeans for the contract, but also we're going to sell them for us as well because the price here is very good and it makes it easier just to tip the whole lot. So there we go. So we made just shy of 42,000 on that, plus we have our contract which we are going to collect on now, so that was 20,000. You will also notice we have taken on a harvesting contract for field 15. That is the really big field right up at the top end of the map, up here which has barley in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to lease the harvester that we need. We do now have enough money to buy the harvester, but I have a little bit of a plan for some other fields, basically because this field that we bought as part of our farm is sugar beet. It doesn't make sense to get a harvester just for that little field of sugar beet. So what I'm going to do, and I might as well do it now, we're going to buy field 29, which is sugar beet, and we're going to buy this one up here, field 14, which is also sugar beet. And then as we own all the sugar beet on the map, it's going to be a bit more worthwhile us leasing a sugar beet harvester for that. So with that, I think that is going to be the end of this episode. So thank you very much for watching. Please do jump on the like button, share this video around, and most importantly of all, have a great day.